Welcome back, everyone, to our special report. Now, before the break, we took you to the streets of Newburgh, New York, and also to Camden, New Jersey. See how tough it is for police there to fight crime. And joining me now is our panel, Jose Cordero. In 2008, Jose was named New Jersey's top law enforcement officer, and during his tenure in East Orange, his new crime-fighting strategy reduced crime by 77%. And also joining us is Dan Keashen. He is the Camden County's Director of Communications. Dan covered the Philadelphia and Camden areas as a journalist before he became the Public Information Officer. And we're also joined by a frequent guest, John Shane, an assistant professor at John Jay College. He retired from the Newark Police Department after 20 years as captain. John's expertise is in police policy and measuring performance. And of course, the reporter who put this series together, Kim Lengle. Kim, thank you so much. All right, guys. Let's start with Newburgh. And while Newburgh may have some unique challenges, it's certainly not alone in being a city, as some would say, under siege here. And John, is there, through your studies, a minimum number that the ratio ought to be?
There's not a given number of police officers per 100,000 that everybody sort of thinks of as a benchmark. Essentially what has to happen is it all has to be data driven. So you have to know exactly where your work is coming from, the size of the volume that's coming in, and the types of work that are coming in. But it sounds to me like Newburgh's got two different issues. I mean, they have an escalating crime problem, which is perhaps compounded by a legitimacy problem in the community. The perceived legitimacy of the police is in question, which in turn sort of fosters this distrust, and so we don't come to the police, which increases violence, which decreases reporting. So the police are never able to get their arms around the magnitude of the problem. Fewer reports means we don't know about things, and when you don't have data coming into the police department, it's very hard to police a city like that.
The economic crisis really started to, or at least is a start point for law enforcement to really take a step back and start to re-examine what we've done in the past when we had a healthier economy, and what do we need to do going forward.
Every element within the city limits is overtaxed, and I just don't know what are the alternative answers. We're going to get into a second where one city at least is trying a novel approach in Camden to try and combat this. But we've seen this more and more. And as we see cities across this country literally declare bankruptcy, you know, we then find out, well, then what happens and where do we go from here? All right, we're going to jump to a quick break. But when we come back, we've talked about the problems of one city, but also an alternative or another way of approaching this from another. We will talk about the city of Camden and a novel approach to solve a problem that's not without its critics, but we'll let the people behind it explain how they envision Camden will be on a road to safety. Stay with us.